and make them submit to our will. Uh, we're live. Hey, everybody. And welcome to Adventure on So Many Levels. We're going to play some Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah,
Ooh, Dungeons and Dragons and dice and stuff.
Yeah. I'm Christiana Ellis, and I'm the Dungeon Master. Our players tonight, Jenny Melter as Zaylene.
Hi.
Paul Fisher as Zinhorn Windborn.
let me at him. Myrtleize him.
Starla Hutchton as Carolina Swift.
Hello, friends.
Mark Kilfoyle as Nedry Shiny Rock. Chute Schubert as Sequential.
Hello, hello.
And sadly, we are without our lovely Viv as Trina of Harley tonight, but Trina will instead be played by the understudy. Oh, that's pretty good. So, who would like to talk a little bit about what happened last time?
We went in the bag.
That's true. You did.
Nedry talked about it a lot, and then Trina just jumped in.
Sometimes you need a decider or a jump inner.
She is that.
Yeah.
Yes. And when we got in the bag, Trina and Zinhorn ended up in cages. Everybody else did not. And there was another guy in a cage and a dead guy in another cage. But the guy that was alive says he's Tanglefoot, but he looks kind of like a shark. And currently, Carolina is the only one that can understand him because she cast comprehend languages.
Right.
And he's not helpful. Yeah, he's pretty combative. But then we set up the security system, and all the stuff is attacking us. So
Yeah.
that's fine.
Well, I think his degree of jerkiness is potentially subjective. I mean, you haven't really taken the time to get to know him.
Yeah.
Right now, he's
no.
grumpy because he's in a cage.
Yeah, but we saw what he did. We don't like him to begin with.
He gives me bad feelings in my soul.
You saw
Yeah,
one
and-
side of the story.
I asked Carolina if he was Tanglefoot before he said who he was. So if he understands common, then he may have heard me say the name. So we really can't trust that he's even Tanglefoot because I asked that question out loud.
Yes. So, as we left off, you were in the middle of fighting off the security system for this strange bag of holding that belonged to this mysterious woman named Isilde that you have learned about. And you're hoping to not be killed by it. All of these animated suits of armor and tables and swords and rugs. And we left off in the middle of combat with, alas, Nedry smuggled within this rug and smothered at the moment, currently unconscious. So he definitely needs your help. And in the meantime, let's go ahead and get some music started, and we will resume our combat already in progress. So, at the top of the round of initiative, we have the swords.
Fight me, swords. I know you're gonna.
Oh yeah, no, they definitely will. Yeah. So the swords are each making sword attacks at you.
Okay.
And that's a 9 and a 21 to hit. Why is it? Hang on, I'm trying to get the... Suddenly froze on me. Trying to get these other virtual dice to roll. There we go. An 8, a 12, And we've got one more coming. So I think only the 21 hits so far.
Yep.
All right. So that one's going to do 6 damage to you. And then, last but not least, 7. Yeah, so some poor sword rolling from those. Oh, and I am reminded, thankfully, from Smarter Master in the chat that I should go ahead and put you all on the map. So everyone can see what's all of this craziness. And just a recap that you are currently inside a bag of holding. Crazy. So, yes, and also this sword that had been pushed back, zoomed back up close to you. But only one of them managed to do any damage that round. Did you have any reaction or anything that you do?
No, because it's wasted on them anyway. I mean, it would just push him back his 10 feet again, and I don't want to waste it again.
Yeah, fair. Okay, Zinhorn, if you recall, last round, your cage was unlocked. So you are now free to leave this anti-magic cell that you're in. And also, currently, you just saw Nedry get swallowed up by this rug right in front of you. But also, Trinus fighting off suits of armor. What are you going to do?
I was going to try and get to a place where I could line up 2 of the suits of armor and hit them with my breath. Oh, I would still have to exit the cage to do that, wouldn't
Yep.
I?
Yeah.
So that's 1, 2, 3. And if I go there, I hit Nedry. Crap.
Yeah. Unfortunately, the rug is kind of controlling a lot of that space right there.
Can I get the 2 to my left?
Well,
The one
so your breath, what is the total range of it?
Need to look that up. Range 30 feet.
2, 3. Well, you could actually get, if you did it to the west right now, you would get the one that's right next to you and the one over by sequential. Do that.
That's what I want to do.
All right. So, do they make a dexterity saving throw?
Yes, Dex saving throw of 12.
Okay. The first one, closest one to you, gets a 19. And then the next one, the farther one, gets a 15.
Okay.
So I think those both succeed, right?
Yep.
But they'll take half damage.
Okay. So the damage for that is 10, so they both take 5 points.
Okay. As the electricity crackles around your teeth and shoots out across the this map-like floor, which is probably map-like on account of it being an actual map. All right. Anything else on your turn?
I can do a bonus action and cast spiritual weapon.
Okay. Let's see where I have your little hammer token. There we go. Bloop. Oh wait, hang on. I need to make it so you can move it. Okay. You should be able to move that token now.
Okay. No.
Where do you want it?
Right there.
Okay.
So the one that I hit with the lightning right in front of me, to the west of me, I rolled a 17 to hit.
17 does not hit. It is a full suit of plate armor, and your spiritual weapon is unfortunately not able to penetrate it at this time.
So I think that's going to be it from me.
All right, Zaylene.
I'm going to Eldritch Blast that sword right in front of me.
Which, the
And-
top one?
Yep.
All right.
And the carpet.
Uh-huh. One blast for each.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, great. So a 22 for the first one. That will hit.
Okay. And it says 5 force damage.
Mm-hmm. And that one is destroyed. It explodes
Huzzah!
into glittery magic dust that sort of drifts down. And then a 16 for the rug. I do think that hits. Let me confirm that. Yes, it does. For a whole 1 force damage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
Well, hey. Yeah, so there's a thing about the rug that I think because it was only 1 damage, nothing else happens.
Okay.
We'll talk about what happens if it's more than that.
Oh, yeah, I wouldn't know that, as a character.
Yeah,
As a person, I just remembered.
yeah. Well, but you would normally, the way that would work is it would be halved anyway. So halving of 1 is going to round down. But in your unconscious state, your body is jostled a little bit. All right. Anything else on your turn, Stanley?
Nah, I'm good.
Okay. It is the rug's turn, and it is going to roll over with its current, prey, and it's going to dunk you into the cage, and then I think, gosh, does it? I'm going to say that it closes the door, but the lock is not reactivated. It's it just kind of its original thing was dispelled with the knock spell. But so all of you now see an unconscious Nedry deposited into this cage. That's the rug's turn for now. Okay, Trina. So, are you running Trina, Chooch?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, sure. I think so. And Trina was raging
Mhm.
and did have the ancestral protectors.
Right, the little yellow circle that I've got on this suit of armor, it was indicating that for the last round.
Cool. And so she's going to sorry. I think I want to have her try to grapple the suit of armor
Okay,
in front of her,
all right.
which I believe is you got to do an attack to try to.
No, well, so what she
Grab
does,
it, or-
she does is an athletics roll, which she would have
Okay, cool.
advantage on right now. And it rolls either athletics or acrobatics to resist. And in its
Cool,
case,
cool.
it's going to roll its own strength check.
All right. And it says she has advantage on strength checks. I don't know if that.
Yeah, this would count.
Cool.
So it got a 14. With your advantage, Trina got a 15. So she has currently got this suit of armor grappled.
Yay. And ultimately, she wants to, spin it and shove it in the cage.
Okay.
I don't know if she can do that in one action or not.
Well, how about this? She can. I'll either allow her to make a roll for a shove attack, which has a chance to fail, or she can pull it in after her. like,
Ah,
and be in there
interesting.
with it.
Yeah, she would pull it in for sure.
Okay. So she moves into the cage and she's dragging the suit of armor along with her.
Hmm.
And so right now she is. You know what? I think that what happens is as soon as she gets it inside the cage, it just completely falls to pieces, limp.
Yes.
I'm also going to briefly retcon a little bit. The cage that the rug just put Nedry back in, the door did not close. I feel like that's more than one action. Is it wrangled him and put him in the cage, but it did not reclose the door. All right. But yes, Trina has just pulled that suit of armor in and rendered it deactivated, at least for the time being.
Sweet.
All right.
Does she have enough movement to come back out?
Well, I mean,
She barely moved, but still, I mean,
I guess if she wants to.
She might want to. I'm just asking the
yeah.
Hmm?
Because yeah, her thing would definitely be to try to guard or shield other people. So
Mhm.
she would
Not
get
only
up
that,
in the
but
other
what if
one's
that was-
face.
One of those armors could just shut the door and lock her in there.
Yeah.
But yeah, she would definitely get in another one's face
Okay. Great.
to be a target.
All right, Nedry. You know, in principle, that you were doing something. You were somewhere with your friends, and it was important. And you weren't getting as much done as you wanted, but then something, you can't quite place it. Something happened, and now you're in a dark place, but you feel a warm glow on your head, and it makes you feel better. And it's not verbal, but you sense a feeling coming from somewhere else, from this warmth, from somewhere beyond that. You're not sure, but you feel the presence of something else that is comforting you and asking if it can help.
Where am I? What's going on? Who are you? What? Why don't I see anything? What's happening?
The feeling you get, once again, is that there is something that wants to help, but it can't unless you ask it to.
Well, if you can help, I think I need it.
Okay? Make a death saving throw for your unconsciousness.
Nope.
Okay. But the rest of you, as you see Nedry there, lying in the cage, currently unconscious, you see the jade circlet that he's wearing start to glow. And there's some kind of energy swirling around it. All right. The table. The table is currently on fire, and so it's going to take 1d6 fire damage. Only one. So it is nonetheless, though, going to, once again, sort of tromp back a little bit over here. And it gets actually a little close enough to Trina that she can take an opportunity swing at it when it goes to charge sequential again. So
Right on.
does she go ahead? She can go ahead and make her attack.
Yeah. Oops.
A 21 will hit. Yeah.
Nice.
So
6 points of stash.
as it attempts to line up its charge, it gets a little too close to her. She's able to take a chunk out of it as it passes, but it nonetheless is lining up its charge. It's coming at you again, sequential. And it's going to make its attack. It has not been very good at this up till now, but we'll see. Oh my god. Gets a natural 1. So yeah, I think what happens is that it is sent off balance by trying to swing, and it actually manages to trip and flip itself upside down, which counts as prone for it, but also does put out the fire that was on the top of it. So, all right. That is the table. And next, Carolina.
Okay. So, if I cast a spell, I can't, just for clarification, I can't use like healing word as a bonus action on that same turn, right? Is that right? Am I remembering
Yes.
that right?
If the spell's a cantrip.
Right.
Okay. All right. So I think what I'm going to do is move. So what would be a 15-foot cube from here? Would I hit Zaleen from here? But also get the swords?
Yeah, so
not
is
hit her?
if it's Thunderwave you're thinking of?
Yes.
You could so think of Thunderwave as it's a 3x3 square, but you are on the side of it. So basically
Okay, so I could be there.
no, well what I was going to say is if you don't want to hit Zaleen, you would need to go back up one more. So like for example, if you were to do it right there, this would be
But
where it
it's
affects. See what I mean?
Okay. Because it's a 15-foot cube originating from me. So I
Yes.
guess I assumed that I was the center of that.
I know a lot of people interpret it that way, but that's not what the designers say.
So I need to back up one more.
Yeah.
Okay.
But
So there.
nonetheless, yeah, so you can do that, and it will just mean you get 2 of those swords without hitting Saline, which is, I'm sure, what
Okay.
your intention was.
Well, what I actually want to do, I want to get to there,
Okay?
but then hold my action until that suit of armor catches up.
Okay.
Well, no, because it'll be behind me, won't it?
Yeah.
Dang it. Okay.
Oh, you were hoping for it to be around you for that reason.
Yeah,
I
that's
see.
what I was thinking about.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, well, I'm just going to go ahead and cast it then,
Okay.
and so be it.
That's,
So
I
it needs
believe-
to make a Constitution saving throw, 15.
All right, for the swords.
Yes.
All right. Left and right. 9 and 4. They're both failing their saves. For 7 thunder damage.
Yes, and they are pushed 10 feet away?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Okay. Neither of them are destroyed, but they are both knocked backward and sort of sent flying and clanging. Technically, let's see. I'm going to have them because they can't get 10 feet. Like there's another, sword there. So I think I'll have them just kind of bounce to the side a bit. All right.
Oh, and then let's see. I gave inspiration to. Who did I give inspiration to last
gave
time?
Trina
I think it was
last time.
Trina.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this time I gave it to Zaylene.
Okay.
And
The little pink spot indicates the inspiration, by the way. Do you still have your Armor of Agathis, or is that not active anymore?
I used all my temporary hit points, so it's not active anymore.
Right. Okay.
Mhm.
All right.
So, yep. That's it, I think.
Inspiration for you. All right. It's the suits of armor now, and yes, this one does come clomp, 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 coming after you, and going to try to punch you with its gauntleted fist. That's going to be 15 to hit and a 13 to hit.
With my shields, it's a 17. So.
Okay, well, neither of those hit then. Okay, this one down here is going to try to hit Trina, who is fairly intimidating as she charges up. That's going to miss. 9 and 16 to hit. 16 hit, Trina?
16 does hit, yeah.
Okay, so that's would be 3 bludgeoning damage, except she's resistant, so it'll only be 1.
Right.
Down here over by you, Sequential, you've got one that's going to try to attack you and one that's trying again to attack your arcane cannon. So first against you. That's oh yeah, that's a critical hit.
Oh,
Um,
well, that'll hit.
yeah, so for 11 bludgeoning damage. And then the other hit on you is only a 12 to hit.
Miss.
Then the one attacking your cannon gets a 6 and
Miss.
and an 8. Yeah, so both of those miss. All right. That's all the suits of armor, because the other one that's in the anti-magic field can't do anything. Okay, Sequential, you're up.
All right. So that one is engaged with me. I can't really move without opportunity attack. Don't care. I do care because I'm getting low on hit points. So I will go ahead and I can cast Frostbite on the one that's catty corner. That
Okay.
fool. Forcing it to make a Constitution save versus 14.
Okay. Constitution save for the armor. Ooh. It's almost higher, but then it turned out to be 10.
All right. So it will take a little bit of frosty damage, 8 points of frosty damage, and
Nice.
have disadvantage on its next attack.
Okay, yeah. So and it's definitely got frost starting to form all over it, and moving a little slower.
And then the my little fireball shooter. I don't seem to have control over it. I was thinking if it's in this square one up, it's a flamethrower is a 15-foot cone,
All right.
and if it's up here, I'm hoping it can get.
How far can it move?
It can move 15 feet.
Okay, yeah. So if it moves to here, it could get all of the those 2 suits of armor and the table, but it would be subject to 1 opportunity attack.
Yeah, it'll do that for sure.
Okay.
It can take a swing. It's got an 18 armor class.
All right. Okay, yeah. Let me do that. Sorry, I'm looking up something else too that's secret that you guys don't know. Slam. The armor slams and gets a 10, so that's not gonna work.
All right.
And then the two of them are going to make dexterity saving throws for the flame.
So yeah, right. Yeah. Dexterity 14.
Okay. First armor 6. Second armor 19. So 1 success, 1 fail. And then the table. Oh, hang on. The table should have not 11, but technically 10. Yeah, so that fails. Wow, max damage. Or is it? No, not quite max, but almost.
Not quite.
Okay, so the first armor takes 15. Second armor takes 7 and is looking pretty bad. And then the table takes 15 and is also starting to get pretty charred up and dinged up, and it's also upside down. All right.
Its belly's on fire.
Yep. All right. That is your turn.
Yep.
It's now the top of the initiative. And Nedry, you feel like you're dreaming. But in this dream, you look around and you see what looks like the inside of a bag of holding. You see your friends fighting things. You're in a cage of some sort, and you can see all around you that there's some kind of a paltry, mystical field that's trying to prevent you from using magic. And it's no match for you. So you realize right now you are not bound by any rules at all. What is it that you want to have happen?
All of the things that are, all the things attacking my friend should stop.
All right. All of the armor and the table and the rug and the swords are just stop where they are. They don't collapse like the one in the cage did, but they stop.
What a weird dream.
And all of the rest of you do see Nedry standing up in the cage, but even though you know the cage is supposed to be anti-magic, this circlet he's wearing is definitely glowing with some strange, like, purple crackling energy, and his eyes are glowing with that same sort of purple-white light. And all of the other things have stopped. So, Zinhorn, what are you doing?
When we were fighting the woman in the Reclaimers Academy who had the circlet on her head, did she have glowy eyes like that?
Well, you only ever fought the shadow version of her.
In the playback that we were watching.
It didn't look like this.
Okay. Nothing's attacking, so I'm going to take a moment and look around and see if anyone needs to be healed.
Okay. Nedry still looks like his face doesn't look right. Like he's not acting like himself in addition to the glowing eyes. But everyone else can kind of make your own, case.
Does anyone else need healing?
I think
Sequential's down to 12, but I think Nedry's worse off.
Okay. I'm going to reach into the cage and gently try and get Nedry to come out so that I can heal him.
All right. So, Nedry, you in this dream, Zinhorn does seem to be beckoning you to come out of the cage.
Yeah, he would smile and pat Zinhorn's hand. It's okay.
When
kind
you
of-
touch him, you return to full hit points. How many is that?
27, I think.
Zinhorn, you lose 27 hit points. When Nedry touches you, it just feels like it you can't let go, and you just feel it drawing out of you, just like it's cold and dark and painful.
Zowie.
Wow, that almost killed me. I have 6 left, and I am going to heal myself.
Okay, so I think we're not in initiative proper at the moment, so everyone can kind of do what you feel like you want to do in this circumstance.
All right, I
Would-
get 15 back.
Would he have like dropped to his knees or otherwise like reacted? Because that.
I think you guys would notice that was not a subtle thing. I think you suddenly see Nedry standing up closer, and Nedry, you feel like Zinhorn just helped you. Isn't he nice? What a good friend he is.
Thank you. Kind of half paying attention, sort of walking over to the rug.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know if I like this one. I wonder how it works.
You come out of the cage?
Yeah, he'll start moving out of the cage.
Yeah. As you're looking down at the rug, you feel like, with more clarity than you've ever gotten when you used detect magic, you feel almost like you can see the actual intricate lines of magical connection to the weave. Like, you can just look at it and intuitively understand, like, oh, yeah, I know how to make that.
I need to remember this. Oh, they say everything you write down in a dream doesn't stay. Oh, how am I going to remember?
Nedry, are you okay?
It's just a dream. I'm
No,
fine.
no. I will start walking over towards Nedry.
Nedry, you hurt him, and I'm going to use my bardic thingy, the cure wounds.
Speak
So-
Bardish.
Yes, yes, I do. So take 6 back, Zinhorn.
Thank you.
He helped me. Things were a little fuzzy for a while. I wonder what you represent in my mind.
Nedry, it's not a dream.
Yes, it is.
No, it's not.
That's
Well,
silly,
that's-
Nedry. You couldn't do the things that you just did if it wasn't a dream. You know that right now you are completely unbound by the normal rules of magic. That's not how things work in the real world.
I mean, if this isn't a dream, could I fly? Well, I'll try to fly.
Yeah, you do. You just lift off the ground. It's effortless.
See? It's just a dream.
Is the circlet glowing or anything like that?
Yep. And his eyes are just shining bright purple white light.
Oh, no.
It's not uncommon, I guess, for you to pull in your friends as sort of icons in your mind. But I'm not really sure what all of you represent. I don't know you all that well yet.
Nedry, it's the circlet.
What?
This isn't a dream. It's the circlet. This is awful.
I never figured that you were the one that always was cautious from me. Or maybe that's what it is. I always figured Zinhorn was more like that. Sequential clearly is the logical part of my mind. I've always admired that in him. Kind of makes sense. Oh, wow. If Trina's here too. I don't know if there's a warrior inside of me, but it would be great if it was her.
So I'm annoyed, and I'm going to cast Mind Sliver at him.
Okay. No effect. It just doesn't happen.
What would happen if I reached over and just tried to snatch the circlet off of his head?
He's flying.
Yeah.
I can't move my icon right now, but
Oh, you can't?
Oh, okay. I didn't know how high you went. I thought you just
Um,
floated off the ground.
It's the kind of thing where it's like, look, I can fly and just sort of fly around.
I mean, you should be able to move it. You can't?
Oh, you know what? Can't move things on the Zoom call. Sorry.
I've done that.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's kind of just sort of he's flittering around as he typically does, kind of looking at all these things and examining them. It's like, oh, I don't know how I thought of this part.
Yeah.
mean-
You hear the voice of the thing in the cage call out, and you understand what it's saying, and only you do also, Carolina, from your comprehend languages spell. But you hear this thing in the cage yell out to you and say, "Hey gnome, that's a pretty neat toy. Wouldn't you like to know what I know about where it came from and how it works?"
Don't listen to him, Nedry.
Well, of course. I mean, it's only a dream, but if you were really here, I just take it from your mind. And I try to take it from his mind.
Okay. Well, what you find there is the first time that there is any kind of a resistance, but the resistance doesn't feel like you're being opposed. It feels like as soon as you make contact, you recognize, oh, he's like me. I wouldn't take something from his mind. We're like each other. We're on the same team.
That's weird. I don't know what you represent in my dream. Maybe a problem I can't solve yet? Or maybe the mystery of it all that keeps driving me forward.
I
Yeah, maybe
think that
that's it.
I represent to you your courage to look for answers in unexpected places. Places that other people are too afraid to look. But not you. Because you know that these secrets are all that matters.
Well, of course. Everybody should know that. Yeah, I kind of know what you mean in my mind now. I'm going to keep you around, but I can't really see you all that well. I try to wave away the darkness so I can actually see him.
Yep, it goes away.
Oh, there you are.
I mean,
You're kind of ugly. Sorry, I know that's not really appropriate.
it's all relative. So what are the rest of you doing? Nedry is still speaking in common, essentially, but he's obviously having a conversation with this thing.
I think Trina would pick up this piece of armor and put it in the cage
What
with the other one.
Yeah,
That's the one right in front of her.
right. Yeah. It doesn't
think the other
resist.
one
In
fell
fact,
apart.
as she starts to move it, it walks as she is sort of guiding, like she's sort of able to just nudge it, and it just walks right in, and then collapses, deactivated the same way.
Try to roll up the carpet.
Okay.
I'm gonna walk over and grab one of the other suits of armor and do the
Yeah.
same thing.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, you guys
Sequential
can
lead
get
one.
that. You know, we can say that you can get all of that, and you can put the swords in there too, if you would be doing that.
Yeah.
All right. And then, so all of
think
that
that
can be
one-
happening while this conversation is taking place. Yeah, and Nedry, I think I mean, I don't want to tell you how it feels exactly, but it seems like your friends are not interfering with what you're doing. So that's good.
I am.
Yeah,
I am
I'm
not
trying
okay
to.
with this.
Well, what are you doing about it?
I'm gonna sit here and try to persuade him that he is in fact not dreaming and that, like, he needs to stop.
By all means, proceed.
Nedry. I'm explicitly not going to touch him because that was scary. And I don't know if that's the same thing would happen to me. So, I'm gonna take a deep breath. Nedry. If this is a dream, maybe you should try to wake up.
Well, I'm clearly trying to work out these problems. I think I recognize
Okay,
this
please don't do
from the
anything else.
descriptions.
Please don't do anything else.
Well, this is the place to
this is
experiment.
not
This
a
is the place
dream.
to try to figure out in my mind what actually might work.
Hey,
Okay.
Nedry, you know,
But you're not in your mind.
Nedry, she's trying to stop us from having this conversation, you know, but since it's just a dream, why not just tell her to be quiet?
Well, she makes a good point once in a while.
What?
But this is just a dream.
Carolina. I will lean into Carolina and quietly say, maybe you should communicate with Sorshana and see if there's something that she might be able to say or do, or I don't know. Like, he listens to her.
There are suckers among them all. All right, I'll use the sending stone
Okay.
to talk to Lord Yobert.
Mm-hmm.
Say, we have a small problem. The security system has been essentially disabled, but I think Nedry's been possessed by the circlet he's wearing, and he now thinks it's a dream, and we might all die because of Nedry. So that's fun.
Should I send in Brennan, or how can I help?
Ask if Sorashana knows anything that we can do to wake him up. He's convinced this is a dream.
Ask if she knows anything else about the circlet, because didn't they study it together?
I asked.
Yeah.
You know, logically, Nedry, if that thing's trying to talk to you, it was evil outside, and it's just going to represent ill intent on this side. So I wouldn't really put too much credence in anything it says. It's going to be deceptive.
Huh. Why would I have a part of my own dream which deceives me?
Hey,
Who's this
Nedry,
guy?
why would your friends really try to stop you from finding out the secrets that we're trying to solve? That everything that would help you solve this mystery? Would your friends really try to stop you from finding that out?
Yeah,
What's he saying,
unfortunately, they
Carolina?
try.
Ugh. He's trying to convince Nedry to let him out, that he knows all the secrets. He's indulging him in this fantasy that this is a dream. He's only egging him on.
Who's this guy, though? I don't think I would have dreamed a dead guy.
Really tempted
How did
to
I dream a
stab.
dead
It's
guy?
not a dream.
Nedry, will you let me wake you up?
I want to sleep a little longer. This is too intriguing.
Yes.
I've never really had a dream like this before, and it's very valuable. I got
But
to figure out how I did this and see if I can do it again.
if I tell you to wake up, will you let me wake you up?
So you represent my alarm clock? That's a weird one.
If we live through this, we're going to have a very serious conversation, Nedry.
That's weird. I
About
don't
safe
really know you
words.
that well. How
I
did I
know.
put you in the place of? Kind of sound like my mother.
Yeah, yes or no, Nedry? Will you let me wake you up? We need you to wake up.
There's so much more I can learn from this.
I
Well,
know.
it would be a
I can-
good test to see if you're going to actually remember anything or not. And then
Yeah,
next
'cause
time,
you
if
may
you
not
do
remember
remember,
when
next
you
time
wake
you can
up.
stay longer.
Oh, but if I wake up and forget, I won't be able to get back here.
Well, you never know. You got here once. It's possible you could make your way back here, but you need to be able to remember.
Nedry,
So let
if
me
you tell
wake
them
you up, and then you'll know one way or another if it's worth being here.
if you tell them
do
to
you have
stop
someone-
bothering you, they will.
Well, they mean well. But maybe if you can help me figure out a way to remember this, that would be useful. Sequential, you should be able to figure that out. Can you think of a way to help me remember all this when I wake up?
Well,
What helps me remember is repetition, repeating things over and over again. Maybe
I
if
usually
you
set it to
repeat it
music.
to yourself.
I think if we focus on something small, like a simple phrase or a simple word or something like that, and then that you can build off of that. So if we have something that you really hold focus, you'd have the most chance of holding on to it when you wake up. Or you might just remember everything and it's no big deal.
I mean, I normally not jot everything down in my journal.
And it kind of floats up beside him, folds open.
Maybe I can write it in here. Oh, there's so much to write down. I can feel everything. It's really weird. But I want to know who this guy is.
Well, he is not a good person. You shouldn't
No,
listen
the
to
dead
him.
one.
Well, I
Oh,
guess they would have gotten trapped in here because they tried to steal from the bag, right?
How did
Yeah.
I figure that out? I
Well-
must have read something in one of those fragments at the Chanticleer Academy.
Nedry, I
There
need
was
you to
somebody
wake
else
up.
that got in here.
Will you let me wake you up?
Do you have to?
Yes.
It's not like we have to get up early. There's no plan for today.
Wait.
We need you, Nedry. We need you now. We need you to wake up.
Zinhorn, can you wake him up in a second? I want to see something.
Okay.
Nedry,
Yeah.
do you know who owns the bag? Do you know who it's attuned to? Can you tell that right now in your dream?
Maybe I figured it out. Let me see.
And I try to think if I figured it out.
Yeah, I mean, looking around you, you feel like, at least here in the dream, you feel like you have a perfect understanding of who this bag was attuned to. Of course, it was Isilde. That, I mean, makes sense that it would be. It must be her. I mean, you don't know about the real bag, but here in the dream, I think that's your theory. And you see how you could just immediately end that attunement if you so saw fit.
I have figured it out. It was Iselde's bag after all. I kind of thought it might be, but it doesn't really make any sense given that she's probably trapped in the cards. But I think I think I've figured out a way that I can change that.
Why don't you do that?
Yeah, it'd be a great simulation.
Yeah, that would be
See
a
what
good
happens.
end to your dream before Zinhorn wakes you up.
The only problem is, in my dream, if I wanted to happen, it just would. So that doesn't really prove anything.
Well, want it to happen.
I mean, I could.
Do that, yeah.
Okay. The bag is mine.
You see all of the lines of magic that surround this place reweave themselves, and now you are attuned to the bag, at least here.
I've never really seen the weave that way. I've heard it theorized that way, but it's really hard to detect.
Zinhorn,
This-
All right.
Yeah.
Are
Wake
you
him up.
ready? Are you ready for me to wake him up now?
yes, please.
All right. Nedry, will you let me wake you up? It's time.
Do I have to go to the bathroom or something?
Yes.
Why do I gotta
Yes,
wake up
very
now?
much so, and it's going to be an embarrassment if you wet the bed. So you need
Or
to
the
let me
desk.
wake you up.
Nedry, these are not your friends. They represent your fears. The conventional society that tries to keep you down and from knowing all of the secrets you really deserve to know.
Do you need his permission to wake him up?
They look a lot like my friends.
It will go a lot easier if he gives his permission.
Why would you be listening to the guy in the cage that we know is evil? You know he's not a good person.
He's in a
Well,
cage, Nedry.
He
he
did
is the
horrible
voice of
things.
temptation.
He's a puzzle, locked up because I haven't figured him out yet.
Well, when you
Otherwise,
wake up, you
He's
can
the
figure
voice
it
of
out.
temptation.
once you're awake, you'll have lots of time to figure out all of that. Now I need to wake you up. Will you let me wake you up?
Maybe just a little longer.
No, we
Sure.
need to do this now. I need you to agree to wake up. Let me
You're
wake
such
you
a-
up.
Such a stick in the mud.
Unfortunately,
figure out
I am. I've never had this much trouble putting a child to sleep before. And now I just want you to wake up. I need your help, Nedry.
Need my help. Why?
I need you to help me. I need you to let me wake you up
Why would you need my help to do that?
because I'm going to cast a spell on you, command word awaken, and I don't want you to resist. And that will wake you up. If you choose not to resist, it should wake you up.
That's weird. Did I forget something? Was there something we were supposed to do this morning? I know I wanted to get a hat, but that wasn't really all that important.
Will you let me do this for you?
Why do you always have to ruin all my fun?
I don't ruin all your fun, Nedry. I try and help keep you safe. You know that.
But
I've
you wanna take
shielded you
the
with my
Chanticleer
own
Academy
body.
away.
If they were your friends, why wouldn't they at least let you ask questions? You're having a dream. Why do they want to wake you up? You're having fun here. What kind of friends are they, really?
Does anybody know a silence spell?
I wish I did.
Mm-hmm.
Does have
No,
a good
not-
point,
yeah.
though. There's so much more I can learn here.
You'll learn even more once you're awake, and when you're awake, you'll be able to write it all down. I promise you, Nedry.
You should listen to Zinhorn.
Please, let
Can,
me do this for you.
Can I make a persuasion roll to get him to listen to Zinhorn?
Between PCs, it doesn't really work. Like the mechanics aren't optimized for that. But I think what it really comes down to is, you have to sort of persuade Mark that Nedry is persuaded. Only Mark knows what, some other things about what's going on.
Way too much power for one player. But I, as a player, I will tell you, you're actually quite close.
Nedry, there's so much for you to learn once you wake up. There are all sorts of questions that you will get answers to. I promise you. But
Don't you remember we were supposed to go in the bag in the morning? That's why you're dreaming about this.
And that was our to-do, is to try to figure out how to break the attunement.
And now you know how. So you
True.
need to wake up so that we can do that.
I suppose.
is that a
Zinhorn,
yes?
I've got one question, though.
Yeah.
The real you, the one not in my dream, you're really intent on having the Chanticleer Academy turned into an orphanage or something? How do I convince you that's a bad idea? I'm afraid of that place. I mean, it's really powerful, and I know I can learn a lot there, but bad things happen there, and that has resonance for a long time. Unless I'm able to understand it, I can't prevent it from happening again.
I understand that, but it's going to take years before that place is sound and clean and has been verified as such. You're going to have at least 2 years before they can get all of that work done, and that's a very long time. I see a building that's been unused for 85 years, and I think of all of the children that could have been given a home that have had to sleep rough out in the streets on rocks because there was no place for them to go, and it makes me sick inside to think of 85 years that building was not used for anything. Once it's clean, it can be used for something. And we're learning so much without having to go back to that building. And like I said, you're going to have 2 years at least before that place is ready to be totally cleansed. There's so much that has to be done. You have so much time. And there are lots of other things that we'll be learning in the meantime that will be faster to learn elsewhere than in that one building. You don't want to spend your life locked in that one building where all of those bad things happen, because like you said, there's all that resonance is going to start to affect you. We're not going to stop pursuing this, but you have to realize that the best thing that can happen is for all of that to be cleansed out of that building, and for that building to be used in a way to help the most number of people.
And Nedry kind of floats down, kind of eye level.
Yeah, I guess I knew all that stuff anyway. I don't know. I don't have all that much. I was never very good at the family trade, so magic seemed a better way for me. But it's been hard. And I've seen so many neat things recently. Like that place. I guess I was just afraid of it being taken away.
No one's taking it away. You're going to have time. And in the meantime, you're going to be able to pursue this mystery in other directions. So are you ready to wake up now?
Yeah, maybe that's what this place was trying to tell me.
All right. I am going to cast command word. I'm going to cast command and use the word awaken. And he is not resisting.
Make a wisdom saving throw, Nedry. Even if you are not resisting Zinhorn's spell. You're making one for me.
Okay. I do get advantage on those, so I'll roll it twice.
Ooh. You got a critical hit on that saving throw.
Oh, yeah. Oops.
You realize as Zinhorn's, there's a moment where you feel like in your current state, it's almost like he's moving extremely slowly. You see him beginning to do the gestures for his spell. And you're kind of, yeah, I guess you're going to let it work. But then you feel this presence in your mind that offered its help and you accepted turn cold and angry. And there's a moment where you feel it trying to hurt your friends to get them to stop what they're doing.
Back away from Zinhorn.
Well,
Don't-
so you are able to resist what this presence was trying to do through you.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. You felt that it was going to have you hurt them, maybe worse. But you were able to resist it. And when you do, there's a feeling of tearing somehow in your mind, but it's not a clean separation. This presence leaves you, but you feel like somehow there's still an opening in your mind where it was that doesn't close. But Nedry collapses to the ground and the glow goes out of his eyes and you are once again unconscious at 0 hit points.
Okay.
While he is unconscious, I'm going to take that circlet off of his head.
Okay, so
Use a bag or something to grab it. Don't let it touch.
as you first of all, as he collapses, the character here in the cage just starts laughing, just a really like and he sees you moving to take the circlet off, and he says, "Oh, I wouldn't do that."
You know, if you're not going to be helpful, shut up.
Oh, gee, I just thought that he's your friend. You just spend a lot of time trying to help him. I figured you wouldn't want him to die, so I don't know.
And you just spent a lot of time trying to get him to
You can't
hurt
understand
us.
him.
Yeah, we can't understand him.
Oh,
Yeah.
So, how about we just get out of here and we take Nedry to Sorashana and we will worry about that guy later.
Yeah, let him stay here.
If there's no more magical security, he may be able to just let himself out or break his way out. Seems pretty strong.
Well, we disabled the attacking things, but I don't think we unlocked the cages, and they still seem like they're anti-magic.
Yeah, but I
I'm
was
just saying
bust
he looks
my way
he
out.
looks beat he looks like a beefy boy. He can beat his way out.
But then when he comes out, he's going to come out where we are.
And he's been
I
here a
don't know
minute, so
if he's
gonna
out
get
of the
hungry
magic
soon.
fields, who knows what kind of magic he has.
Yeah,
I just don't know. Maybe
He may
one of
be
us
able
should
to
stay
leave this
behind
place.
and guard it.
I wonder if we pull the stuff out of the alarm system parts out of the cages, if they'll reanimate.
Oh, did the
Mm.
table move or flip? Or
The table
I
has.
assumed it wouldn't fit in a cage.
Yeah, you are correct that it wouldn't, but it hasn't moved since they all stopped.
It still looks deactivated.
Well, did Nedry? Do we know that Nedry?
Nedry, by the way, go ahead and make a death saving throw.
Okay,
You're
I
back
am.
at normal.
I am pulling out a bag, wrapping it around the circlet, and like pulling it into the bag so it doesn't touch me. You know what I'm saying?
So you're trying to remove it?
Yeah.
With the bag as a glove.
Yeah. So as you start pulling it, it is not releasing, and you feel like you're going to have to pull really hard.
Maybe let's wait until we get out of here.
And maybe does he need healing still?
Yeah, I need
He
to
looks
heal him right
unconscious.
now. I am going to cast Cure Wounds on him
Okay.
at first level.
Should have just stabilized him so he stopped
Six,
talking.
6 points.
Yeah. So Nedry, you wake up with 6 points. As far as you know, you had a very strange dream.
That was weird.
Oh, total of 9. Sorry.
Hey, I'm still dreaming.
No.
No, you're not.
Of course I
You
am.
never
No.
were.
That doesn't make any sense.
Yeah. Can we talk about it later?
I'm gonna try to fly.
You know,
Oh, I guess it's not the dream.
Really tempted to cast levitate on him. No.
Carolina, by the way, you receive another message from Yobert saying, I was trying to ask Sorashana about what was going on, but she seems to be struggling with something up here too. I don't think I understand exactly what's happening. She said she didn't need help, but that she was busy with something critical to your safety. Is everything all right?
Well, Nedry's not, he can't see air quotes, dreaming anymore. And everything is stable, but we have to find a way out. That's where we're at. So as soon as we find the way out, we will get out.
Tanglefoot in the cage says, I know the way out.
What did that thing say?
Oh, does Nedry now know the way out?
Well, I dreamed about it.
So let's do
He
what you
says-
saw.
He says he knows the way out, but in order to get anything from him, we'd have to let him out of the cage, and that is not happening.
Ginger kind of stands up, brushes himself off.
Is there any way we could trust him with any kind of a promise that if we let
No.
him out, he's not going to hurt us?
No.
What he does, he looks to you, Carolina, and there's a moment here where the sort of smirking, sneering, demeanor fades a little bit, and he says, listen, you came here for answers, and I have them. I know you don't like me and you don't trust me, but I have what you want. And I'm not going to give it up for nothing. So figure it out.
I need to know what he's saying.
I cast comprehend languages.
Okay.
Maybe tell him if he were to give us something on good faith that we could build on that.
Hey,
Yeah.
little one, you understand me now?
Yeah, it's weird.
Yeah.
I can understand you in my dream, but
Just so you know, when you were asleep, they tried to take that circlet off of you, and if they had succeeded, it would have killed you. Just thought you should know.
why would they try to kill me? No, that doesn't make any
Because it
sense.
possessed you. It possessed you. You were not dreaming.
It was weird. I'll give you that. Well, there's more to this circlet than I imagined.
Mhm.
So much more. It's kind
It's
of exciting.
dangerous.
Yeah.
Gosh, if only you guys knew someone who knew where it was found and what its real nature was and why it was created and, originally brought it to Pashan.
All right, so how about this? If I give you something to eat, maybe some water, then you'll tell us something, because then you won't die. Otherwise, we'll just leave.
Well, let me stop you right there. Because you're getting warmer to something we could actually have a conversation about. Now, I'm not going to die if I don't eat. But that doesn't mean I don't want food. Bring me something good. Maybe I give you something.
I will take some of the rations out of my pack and, don't want to get too close.
I can squirt a loaf of fresh bread.
Wait, China's got some goodies or something, so whatever she's got, see if she's got something good.
Yeah, she brought like a whole picnic lunch.
Yeah, her and Brennan cooked up stuff.
So,
How about she has some delicate finger sandwiches?
Cucumber sandwiches.
so you what? Like you push him through the cage? How are you doing that?
Yeah.
Because he's definitely giving you that shark tooth grin.
Yeah.
As you
You
approach.
can
tell-
put it on the
We can-
table and
Back
push
up
the
to the
table
far
close.
side. Back up to the far side of the cage.
He laughs, but does so.
And then I'm gonna toss whatever I have carefully inside the cage.
See? We're being nicer to each other already. Now, he picks up one of the sandwiches, and as he holds it, it just like disintegrates into dust.
That's a really weird way to eat.
Efficient.
Not
What
very
are
tasty.
you?
Well, how about that? A question you've got for me. You know what? I could give you a word, or I could give you not the word, but like a clue. Because the word, my thinking, is not going to mean anything to you. Probably wouldn't have heard the word before. You'd just say, oh, well, I could just say a sound and you wouldn't know. Or I could tell you a little bit about what I am without the name, but more, descriptive like. Which of those sounds more like your fancy? By the way, I would be able to communicate with all of you telepathically. It would be no translation needed if you could get rid of this anti-magic field around me, just saying.
I don't think so. I don't know that any of us can right now. Anyway,
Little guy there is attuned to it. He could turn the magic field off and you could keep me in the cage.
Christiana, I take out my sling
Uh-huh.
What?
And I load it and I just start spinning it and looking straight at him because I don't know where this is going,
All right.
but what he did with that sandwich was absolutely disgusting. And I'm like, if this goes sideways, I'm just going to start throwing sling stones at him.
All right. So if you're, you want to make like an intimidation check?
Yeah, let's go for that.
I think I'd definitely march the flamethrower bot over to it.
Yeah.
I got a 5.
Okay. You can have an advantage since it seems like sequential is backing you up.
All right.
Nedry, to answer your question,
15.
You know
Better.
that dream that was not a dream? Apparently you attuned to the bag.
As you're doing that, Zinhorn, he kind of holds up a hand to you just a little bit like a, all right, come on, settle down. But,
Well.
you don't understand the noises he's making.
Then maybe this bears a little experimentation.
And I turn to the cage that has the dead guy.
Okay.
I should be able to open it.
And I try to open it, thinking it.
Yeah, it does. It opens.
Oh, well, that was easy.
Do I have a sense if I think towards the bag that I can turn on and off the anti-magic field, or does it take time?
I think now that you're attuned to it, you know that you have to like concentrate on it for like a full, round. Like it's not just,
Okay.
in context, like if we were in combat, it would take your action. But you can turn it off.
I'm kind of
does-
curious if this guy's really dead or just looks dead. Everybody be ready.
And I'll concentrate on removing the anti-magic field from the dead guy's cell.
Okay. Nothing appears to change.
Oh, Christiana, you can get rid of my hammer because it's been more than a minute.
Ah, yes. Well, the other thing is too. I don't know. Like, do you guys want to stay on the map? We're kind of just talking now. Let's stay on the map because it's a cool map.
It is a pretty
very
It
cool
is
map.
a very cool map.
So, he's right. I can control the bag.
Mhm.
Weird.
So maybe you could get us out of here.
Probably. We can try. Are you all ready?
Reset the defenses.
Hey,
That's
Nedry.
right. I forgot. Shorashana is dealing with something critical. I said as soon as we could get out, we would get out. So we'll have to come back to talk to him later.
What's wrong? Oh,
I
And
don't
he doesn't
know.
even
He didn't
think at that
say.
point and just says, "Let's get out," and tries to get us out.
Okay. You find that all of you are sort of, you find yourself kind of lifted and sort of propelled through like a tunnel, like you kind of like lose sight of what's in the bag for a moment, and then you all once again appear back in the, like in the workshop there. And the, hang on, let me just put us back on that other screen.
Yeah, after we all commented about the map, I immediately took you off the
Yeah,
map.
yeah. No, that's fine. Yeah, but yeah, so you all sort of once again appear there in the workshop, and Yobert is standing there and looking very relieved to see you. And then you can see, like, across the room, Brennan looks to be kind of like uncertainly attempting to help Sorashana as she is, like, she's fidgeting with tiny mechanism of some kind. You can see like there's like sweat on her brow. She seems very occupied.
Sorashana? Are you
Yeah.
okay? They said
we
you were in
help?
trouble.
She just kind of like grunts a little bit in frustration, but she doesn't stop what she's doing. It's very obviously something very intricate that she is working on.
Sequential?
I would love to help if I knew how.
You want to, if you want, you can go over and do like an investigation check to try to understand maybe what it is that she's doing.
Yeah.
I don't think you're going to need me for a minute, so
Yeah.
I'll be right back.
Ooh, that's
Ooh,
a
24.
24 is a pretty good roll. Yeah, so what you can see that she's got is the she's opened the deck of cards, that Taroka deck that you guys got, that was Isild's, and you can see that she's got the case that holds the cards open so that you could just like, like it's open so that someone could just pull a card out. But she's got it in a weird sort of mechanical clockwork frame so that it looks like there's a, little mechanical apparatus that could go in and lower a little pincer and pull out a card and then like move it to a different like location. And she's clearly trying to fine tune some aspect of it, but you also sense with a roll that high that right now it is currently in a very unstable configuration, and there's a lot of power wrapped up in this magical item. So like if something were to go wrong with it right now, you have no idea what would happen. But it would probably, she seems very concerned about that.
I would relay how dangerous it is. But yeah.
Can I grant an NPC inspiration?
Yeah.
Then I would like to grant Shorashana a 1d8.
Okay, sure,
Bardic
sure.
inspiration.
And I will allow you sequential also, since you scored so high on your investigation of what was happening. I think that this is a little bit like, to give everybody a meta reference here, this is like a diffusing a bomb type of scenario, right? You feel like you could be a second set of hands for her, and that would make a big difference. But what I would need is a tinkering tools check.
Cool.
And rather than actually sing, I think Carolina would just hum so that she didn't cause a major distraction.
Mm-hmm. What are you doing during this, the rest of you? Nedry and Celine and just watching?
I'm just watching to see what they're doing, and I'm also kind of keeping a close eye on Nedry.
Nedry's practically vibrating. There's like 1,000 questions he's not asking at this moment because he knows how much it scares Shorashana when he asks all the questions. He has tons of them. So as you look over, he's like, but I want to know. With frustration.
So if it's dexterity and proficiency, what would that'd be 13?
Yeah. That's your roll?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so I think with your assistance, it seems to like steady what she's trying to do a little bit. But as she is, you see her trying to make one last connection, and unfortunately it looks like she's not able to like get it where it needs to be. And she sort of gives a frustrated sigh, and then, looking to you, she kind of, guides you to help her go to a different configuration than she was just about to do. And what you recognize is she was unable to complete it in the way that she wanted, but she is going to be able to stand it down safely. Like, there won't be any explosion or whatever might happen, but that she was not able to get everything that she wanted out of it either. And so once she is able to, get it back to a stable configuration, she looked up at you and says, I'm sorry, all of you. I thought that I could, when you were in the bag, the cards activated in a way, and I realized that I'd been thinking about some designs. The problem with the way they work right now is there's a randomness element that might actually be fate. I don't know if fate's real, but if it is, then that's what it is. And I thought that I could make a device that could allow you to choose which card comes out. It's not like regular cards where you could shuffle them and have it come out any way you want. Like you could sort the cards and have them be in the right order. Like it doesn't work like that. It's the magic. But I thought that we could, and that way we would be able to get Justice Sild out. But I had hoped that would work. But then when it turned on, it looked like it was going to release something. And I tried to just put it in there to stabilize it, but I don't know what happened.
It's a different kind of magic. The probabilistic incantations is the closest we come to understand it. But you really did well.
I'm glad it's stable now. Whew.
It was, I don't know, did something you do? Did you do something in the bag that would have woken it up?
Does everybody look at Nedry, or is that just me?
Yeah,
Oh no,
absolutely.
I'm looking right at him.
As well as the flamethrower sphere.
Well, there was a dream.
It
No,
wasn't a dream.
it was real.
Well, it felt like a dream.
It wasn't.
How was I to know it wasn't a dream? You can't prove you're not in a dream when you're in a dream.
Okay, but we literally are telling
True.
you right now that it was not a dream and that it
I know
really happened.
now, but it felt like a dream. And there was something there. I mean, all of you were there, but something else
I
was helping me.
I think Yobert says a dream or maybe a nightmare.
It didn't feel that scary.
Not to you. Your eyes were glowing purple. It was crazy.
Really?
That circlet,
Yes.
Nedry.
Oof.
I know you
Yeah.
like it and you want to use it and explore all of its possibilities, but I think you need to find a way to take it off until we know more about it, because it could have killed you.
No.
Yeah.
It's the key to understanding all of this. Clearly.
I don't have a lot of experience in this area, but I think it's safe to say that thing is cursed.
Yes.
Yeah, I think so too. I did try to take it off you while you were unconscious, and it felt like I would have to exert so much force to get it off you that I would have hurt you. And I
Wait.
don't want to hurt you, so I stopped.
That was you in there. Not the you in my head.
That was
That was really
actually
you.
us in there. That was really us. You were not in a dream.
But you said you weren't going to take things from me.
I
I
never
wasn't
said
going to
that.
take it away from you, but I was going to take it off you so that you could not have it influencing you before you thought about what else to do with it.
It wasn't like that.
You hurt Zinhorn, Nedry.
You almost
You
killed
nearly
me.
killed him.
No, you
Yes.
can't heal me.
No.
Yes, you pulled my life force out of me. That's how you got healed.
I
Well, the
didn't do
item
that.
did.
The item.
The
did.
item. Through you, it did. That's the curse. It's cursed.
And he backs away.
Then don't touch me. It's not safe.
Take it off, Nedry.
Yeah, you probably can't take it off even if you wanted to.
I don't know. Can you try?
You can always
Why
put it
would I-
back on, but try taking it off.
Yeah, if you can't take it off, you know it's cursed.
No, that's ridiculous. I have a whole
Try.
lot of reasons why I want to keep it on. It's too powerful. I'm learning so much.
But at what cost?
You
You'd
almost
kill
killed
all of
me.
us?
No, just don't come near me then. If my eyes are glowing, then
Try. Nedry, just try. We're not saying just lift it off your head. See if you even can.
no, I don't want to. Something
Curse.
happened.
Well,
but
then you can't ever answer that question, can you?
Logically,
You won't ever
You're
know if you
cursed.
can.
no, there's a whole lot of other reasons.
Yeah, you won't ever
Lord
answer that
Gilbert,
question.
do you know anyone who can
I'll
break
not ever
curses?
answer that question.
He says, that was never my forte. I believe that there is divine magic that can do that, and some druids are capable of it as well, I think. But I'm not an expert in these things. Although, what I will say is, from my understanding of cursed items, being unwilling to part with the item is a pretty common part of the curse. If
Is
that is
there-
what it is.
Is there anyone in the city who maybe specializes in those things that you might know of? Or
Well, I
I'm
would
sure
think
Tinhorn's church.
that's
Yeah,
what I was just
maybe.
going to say. I mean, that would, some, temple to a major spirit would probably be my first
No,
choice.
I haven't finished studying yet. You can't take it away from me. Not yet. I'm just
Well,
starting
but
to
there's
figure out how
one
to use
big
it.
question that you can't answer, and that you
I
could
will
really
eventually.
easily. Yeah, but you could answer it right now.
I'm going to go use the sending stones.
Okay. As you're all having this conversation, Sorashana had been kind of standing just off to the side. But there's a moment there where she just strides into the middle and of your conversation, and she is moving almost like she's underwater. She's moving slowly and kind of dreamily, and you realize her eyes are closed. And then she reaches out to try to just touch a finger onto your circlet, Nedry.
He's going to try to back away. He's afraid of anyone touching him right now.
Yeah. As you're backing away, her arm seems to extend longer and longer until the finger does touch the circlet. And in that moment, there's a spark that is so bright that everyone is temporarily blinded. Like everyone in the room, just like everything goes white for a second. You're sort of blinking like there's just a flashbang or something that went off.
my drow eyes.
And then, Nedry, you realize that, like, everything about the circlet as written in the item is still true, but you now recognize and consciously understand the cursed part of it. And it's not that the curse is broken, it's more like you understand it's manipulating you.
What did you do?
She, as you get your vision back, she seems to be just laying on the floor, like kind of like she's fallen unconscious.
Is she okay? I
I'm
didn't
going to
hurt her,
check
did I?
and see if she's
Yeah.
okay.
She's breathing. She seems to be stable, but she's definitely unconscious.
Help her. I didn't mean to do that.
You didn't do it.
Does she look wounded at all?
No, I mean she looks. I mean, if not for the circumstances, you'd think she was sleeping peacefully.
So I would ask Yobert, has anything like that ever happened before? Has she ever had a moment and then?
Like that, not exactly. There certainly have been times, and he kind of glances over to Brennan and says, and Brennan just says, the way she was moving before all that, that's, we've talked a little bit about how she has kind of a spirit or some other presence that
Gosh.
with her.
Gosh.
Yeah, she kind of sleepwalks sometimes. And it's a bit like that, but I've never seen her do whatever this is.
She answered a question. I guess it's still a very powerful artifact,
Yeah.
but it is dangerous. I need to study it more to make sure that I can stop it.
Can we find a way to maybe fix it so that it doesn't kill you?
Or us.
Zinhorn, make a religion check.
I can try to build up my defenses. It is the
picked
school of
one my
magic I'm studying.
strengths. I got a 16.
16 is pretty good. You know that there is a spell taught to followers of Rushama, a third level spell called Remove Curse, that it generally won't make a magical item uncursed, but it can break the hold it has on a person that it has cursed.
This is not a fuck you test. It's an actual message.
Whoop. Excuse us, everybody.
Accidentally appropriate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Something in her lab just lit up, I think.
So I could get that spell tomorrow.
No,
Oh yeah, I could. I could get it.
no, that's not what I mean.
What? What do you mean?
I know now. And I want to keep it anyway.
No, that's not your
You know
decision
how
to
to-
make.
You know how to break it. You know how to make it safer. But
No.
unless I know more,
No.
No.
it's going to
No.
hurt more people.
No.
Hey, let's all sleep on it.
No.
We'll just all sleep on it, Zinhorn.
Well, I mean, we have to because Zinhorn can't get the spell until tomorrow, but
Exactly.
Ned
Yeah.
Pray on it.
Well, I
This
could
way
also
you know
contact
where
the
it
temple
is,
and get someone who
And
knows
you know
it
who it's
today.
connected to.
what if
You
it's
know
connected
more.
to no one? And
Then
that
someone
is how
will
you
get it.
study it. No, we will
Someone
find
will
a way
take it.
to lock it up and keep it safe. You cannot keep wearing it. Even if he breaks the connection to the curse away from you, it's still cursed.
It's manipulating you for its own reasons.
And we know
It is
that
not
now.
good for, yes, but you are still susceptible to it.
Yeah.
Even knowing it does not mean you can fight it.
Doesn't
You may be
make us
able to
not
fight it
happen.
for a day or a week, but at some point it is going to take over you again, and you are going to hurt somebody, or rather, it is going to hurt someone through you.
And then when you come out of it and you see your friends lying dead around you, can you live with that?
I'm stronger than that. I can do
No,
this.
you're not.
Not.
No one is.
No one
I didn't
is
know
that
before.
strong.
You have to know things if you can fight them.
All right, I'm gonna
The
go to
only
the
way.
workshop. I gotta go rest. I'm not gonna listen to any more of this.
Okay. Brennan and Yobert and anyone else who is interested are helping Sorashana, like carrying her to her bed. And she kind of stirs as they're doing that and just sort of murmurs something about, did Kosh help someone?
I'm actually going to go with them and I'm going to meditate by her bed while she's asleep.
Okay.
And then I'm going to be there when she wakes up.
All right. Yeah. She's kind of out of it, but she seems okay. Like something, that whatever that was took a lot out of her, but she doesn't seem harmed.
What time of day is it?
I think it's, let me think, because you
Probably
went
around
into the
lunchtime,
bag in the morning, so yeah, it's
Yeah.
probably still only around lunchtime.
Well,
Okay.
I don't think we should leave Nedry alone at any point.
Need to think. I'm going to go to the roof.
Why don't you and trying to stay with him? I'm going to go use the sending stones for a few minutes. I'm going to head down to where the sending stones are and contact. Can't think of his name.
Father Wilfram?
Father Wilfram, and ask. Yeah, my boss. Ask him if he can send somebody over who is currently able to cast Remove Curse It's not immediately urgent, but I don't feel like it's safe waiting until tomorrow when I can learn it.
Okay. Yeah, so I think you get, a message that they can send someone over to arrive by the evening. Thankfully, this curse is, remove curses does not have a material cost the way some of the others do, like greater restoration. So there's not really any worry about that. It's just kind of making a house call, so to speak.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And then I'll come back up and help Caroline in trying to watch Nedry.
I actually have business with Lord Yobert, so if Zinhorn and trying to have this, plus Sunya, I think I might be okay to leave. Say, watch him, don't let him go anywhere or do anything. It's not safe. And I will go seek out Yobert.
Okay. I think
If he's available.
I think he actually wants to have a brief conversation with Nedry too, but like he kind of asks everyone to like give him and Nedry a moment, like
I'll catch him on the way out.
everyone else back off just a little bit. And he said, he comes and just says, I don't want to be just another voice telling you to do something that you feel is not the right decision. I do have some experience with curses.
What do you mean?
My curse is not mental, and it's not something that is as easily broken, because it ties me to another, and to remove the curse for me would kill her. Curses are insidious magic. I didn't know what I was agreeing to when I made the agreement. And so I thought then, and still do, that it was better than the alternative. So I understand, at least to some extent, the idea that a curse can be lived with, managed, some of them anyway. So I don't want to try to imply that any curse automatically must be removed, and that somehow they're, if something is gained, then I think a discussion can be had. But if that decision is to be made thoughtfully, it's critical to understand exactly what is being agreed to. So you say that you wish to keep the circlet for now and not have the curse broken. What does that mean? What is being gained and what is being lost?
Everything is being lost. Nothing is being gained.
So, with the understanding that the curse is contributing to that, I think you know that it's not everything being lost. And what's being gained, if nothing else, is the rest of your party here feeling that they can trust you. Right now, they feel that you're dangerous. Maybe that's true, maybe it's not. But their feelings are not immaterial. So you know that it's not nothing. The curse is telling you that it is. Now, because it's magical, it's difficult to process these things. But I would invite you, as you think about these things, to try to give yourself that second guess. The curse feels good because it's telling you a certainty. And certainties feel more comfortable than an uncertainty. But consider, what if that's wrong? And I'll leave you to it, but I wanted you to know at least that there's someone here who understands, at least to some extent.
Thanks. Oh, and Lord Hubert, I hope you can free her sometime. I hope I can help.
I appreciate the thought. I haven't really let myself hope for that in a while. But can you promise me that you won't try to leave before we can have the opportunity? The curse, once broken, will give you the opportunity to make the decision rationally without its influence. Once the curse is broken, you can make the decision whether or not what it's doing is worth what you gain.
That's
Right
just
now, you can't make that decision rationally.
But that's just it. I don't think anybody else is going to allow me to make that decision.
They're
That's
doing
not
that.
the risk I want to take. If it's gone, it's going to be gone forever. Like everything else.
It's not true. Nedry, if you give me your word that you will not attempt to escape, I will give you my word that the circlet, once the curse is broken, you can make the decision whether to put it back on.
What about the others? They won't agree with that.
Perhaps not.
There's someone I need to talk to.
And he steps into the bag.
Okay. All right, so we will come back to that. So Yobert sees that happen and is kind of like, well, I guess at least he's not running through the city. And he goes out and does tell everybody that that has happened. So he says,
Did he take the bag?
well, no, I mean, the bag it stayed there. So, like, it kind of drops to the floor when he goes inside it. So he tells the rest of you, he's gone in the bag. I will tell all of you now what I told him. And we can have this discussion as a group as well. It is my belief that it is possible that what the circlet can tell us is valuable enough to live with the consequences of a curse. But as of right now, he is not able to make that decision rationally because of the curse. I propose that we break the curse, and then, once it is broken and he is free of its influence, we can discuss the relative benefits and costs of keeping it and learning more from it. With the possibility that we would return it to him. But only when he is freed of its influence and it is not able to shape his decision.
Now, I thought Nedry said he went up to the roof and everyone else followed him.
Yobert asked to have a moment in private with him first.
Oh, okay.
So we can discuss that. We can talk about it more later. I agree with the plan that we break the curse whether he wants us to or not. But I think it's true that this is a powerful artifact, and if the curse can be managed, there's a possibility that the gains are worth the cost.
Possibly, but it's not, it's a collective decision. It's not his decision to make.
Well, we can discuss that. But right now...
Because if one person can decide that sort of thing, I'm out.
Me too.
I'm not putting my life in danger for one person's ideal. Well, not ideal, but...
He's willing to give up everything just to learn some stuff, and I'm not okay with that.
We're not all there, right?
I mean, unless, I'm thinking he has come out to tell whoever's kind of still hanging around.
Oh, yeah. Forget.
Yeah. I was like, wait, did we go up there? I don't know. What's going on?
Yeah, I mean, no one would have followed Nedry up to the roof.
We said we were staying with him.
Okay.
Yeah, that was the intent, but...
Yes, but Yobert said, can I have a moment with him in private? And that's when all this happened. And so now he has come out to let you know that he went in the bag. So, yeah. You wanted to stay with him, but Yobert said, can I have a minute? And that... So...
Is nobody worried about him, like, being in the bag? Like...
I immediately came out and told you he went in the bag. I am worried. I'm not saying that it's all right. I came out to tell you as soon as it happened. But I'm also saying that when you phrase it as willing to give up everything in order to learn something, that is a hyperbolic description of this. Curses are not infinite. They are proscribed. They do specific things, and once we know what the specific things are, we can make a decision about what is gained and what is lost. I'm not proposing that we pretend that it's nothing, but when you describe it as giving up everything, That's just not accurate.
Is this conversation essentially in the hallway outside of where
Yeah.
we were? Okay.
Well, I'm guessing that it would be.
Yeah.
And so I know
Nedry
that
walks
this.
out.
Oh, okay. You pop out of the bag. You mean?
He walks out the door just behind them.
Okay.
Kind of looks at them.
You went in, yeah. If you were in the
Yobert
bag, you
brought
can't
the
hear
bag
any
with him.
conversation.
Oh, he did.
Okay.
Okay. Well, then he pops out the wherever the bag is.
Okay.
actually.
That's yes.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay. Yep. He just pops out of the bag,
Okay.
looks around, kind of slumps his shoulders, walks towards the roof.
Okay. So, do we want to have a scene? Did you?
No, actually, he can't. The comprehended language is faded away.
Oh, okay. I see.
He didn't realize that when he went in.
Oh,
Okay.
just hold that thought.
Yeah.
But he's just sort of sad, looks away, walks away towards the roof, as he said he was going to.
So I do agree. We probably shouldn't have him be alone right now. But I just hope that everyone can understand that curses are not good things, but they are also not. They're not unsurvivable. Some can be lived with. All I propose is that we wait and find out what this one does before we determine that we will throw away everything else we have for it to be dismissed.
We'll say Trina went off and followed Nedry.
Yeah.
So, Carolina, I know you wanted to speak with me. I don't know if I've changed the mood, but
No, I still need to speak with you. I think it's important, especially now. If you're feeling up to it, if this morning's been a lot, so if you can't right now, I understand.
no, it has. But I think come with me to my sitting room.
Is Brennan going with us, or is it just?
I think
he's welcome to
Brennan
comment.
will assist with figuring out if you need to do like shifts or something like that to just kind of try to make sure everything's still okay and we're not having any like sudden decisions being made. But yeah, so can bring you in there.
So we're in like his sitting room, I guess?
Yeah.
Something like that? Okay. Okay. So I talked to Sunya already. And I think especially with a lot of what happened this morning and talking about trust, I think this is important to put all the cards on the table. So, the others don't know. Sunya knows, and she was very kind in respecting my wishes not to let anyone else know. I have an ability that may or may not be of use to people, but I was thinking it might come in handy when we were talking to your brother. So, you know how there are spells that people can use to change how they look?
Of course, yeah. It's rather a straightforward illusion.
Well, and there are some that are not illusions. But the thing is, since you're kind of aware of that, the thing is, I can do that without a spell.
All right. I think I follow.
I don't. I've never met anyone else that can, and I don't really tell people. Just because I work, Siona always said, people might try to take advantage, or they wouldn't trust me if, I always look different. And I've tried very hard not to, I don't look different all the time. I mean, this is kind of, this is like my default, I suppose. But yeah, it's a thing I can do, and I can do it just like that. And I'll go ahead and shift, just because it's kind of the same proportions and everything, into the half elf. Just like I imagine this looks a lot like that Michael Jackson video, Black or White, like at the end
Yeah,
credits,
the
where they're
morphing.
like shifting from the different people. So that's what I imagine this looks like, and she just boom, instantly changes.
So he kind of furrows his brow a little bit and says, "So not an illusion, you say?"
And I hold out my hand for him to touch. And
Well, I mean, I think your hand would probably not be that different, right? But maybe the
okay,
ears.
yeah. So I'd be like, hold on a minute. And so this is actually something I was curious about. Can I do just like partial shifts, like with a hand, or
Yeah.
is it like, yeah? I would change it to my hand to look like Trina's hand.
Okay. Oh. And he's feeling it, and it's like, well, gosh, I have not encountered that before. I know that there are magics that can do such thing, but you say it's not a spell.
I've always been able to do it. There are some limitations, and even if, say, if I was, a different race, something like how Zaylene is a dark elf, they have different abilities, and they have light sensitivity, things like that. It's not the same for me. I don't have the same abilities, but I don't have the same handicaps either.
I guess first, thank you for telling me. I feel like I can perhaps to some extent understand why this would be something you do keep secret, because I've no doubt that there are people who would have a problem with it.
Well, historically speaking, there's really one story that everyone knows about someone who can change their face, and
Of course, yes.
100 years of history, it's people have feelings about it.
I have done some traveling in my time. And I have spent some time in the Feywild, where perhaps in some ways even more extreme than it is anywhere, you really can't rely on someone's physical appearance to know what's in their heart. You have to recognize it by their actions. Now, I know that Trina has capabilities as a warrior. Zinhorn has his magic granted him by Rushama. Nedry has studied the arcane. Zaylene and Sequential, they are unique in their own right as far as I can tell. There are many types of people in the various planes, and I think it is a fool who believes that there is any type of person who is automatically bad. If you have abilities, they are less common. At least I'm not familiar with others who can do it, but they are capabilities, and what it comes down to is how you use them. And at least from what I've seen and heard so far, you use them to help people.
I try. Like the meeting under the bridge. My orc friend. It wasn't a friend.
That makes sense in hindsight. I have to say, in some respects, it's a bit of a relief because it, frankly, was a little bit strange that you would just bring in someone that the rest of the group hasn't met before, but I wasn't going to presume. But as far as I'm concerned, I won't share it with anyone, but it does strike me that, assuming that our little experiment doesn't break up in the morning, it seems to me that it's a useful skill that could be put to service. But it requires trust in more than one direction, right? You would need to trust that your friends are capable of understanding. They would need to trust the person that they've come to know, even given new information. And as much as everything got rather heated a bit ago, there's a degree where obviously if someone is being magically influenced, that cannot be allowed to stand unexamined. But if everyone gets full information and Nedry wants to make a decision, you would give up everything because you don't trust him enough?
I would. Because I can't. I can trust you with knowing this about me. I'm pretty sure I could trust Trina and Zinhorn and Sequential and I maybe Zaleen. It's a little. I think so. She seems very good, but I mean, she doesn't even know herself. So it's a little hard to say. I think so. But Nedry concerns me. Not just for this, but well, I mean, I don't want to be studied like a bug, for one thing. But he also has a tendency to. He has thoughts about what he thinks about secrets, and I don't know that he wouldn't just say this one, to whoever asked, just because they wanted to know. And I don't know that I can trust him with this. And especially not if he keeps that circlet. I don't think I could. I don't think it's worth it.
That is, of course, your decision to make. I'm not necessarily thrilled with the idea of him keeping the circlet, but it is clearly a powerful artifact that we have yet to understand. We seek to understand it better. I'm not saying that the decision will be made to keep the circlet. I'm saying only that I've heard no other proposal for what should be done with it.
And if it were up to me, I think it should be locked away and dropped to the bottom of the ocean and buried under lava, and I don't like it. It's not good. No one should have that kind of power. He didn't see it. Just anything he wanted to happen, and it just happened. He nearly killed Zinhorn with just a touch of his hand, and to say, "Oh, haha, it was just a dream," and he wouldn't listen to anyone, wouldn't listen to reason. It's amazing that we even got him to agree to wake up. I don't feel safe.
I think these are all cases that could be made to Nedry when he is no longer subject to a curse.
Maybe.
But I think it would be appropriate to understand that the things that he does while cursed are not necessarily representative of the person he is inside. We don't know what the curse does.
Well, I'm willing to wait long enough to find out. But I'm with Sequential on this one.
So, I think that we can talk about that when the time comes, because certainly we're agreed that we need to remove the curse first, but...
Right. So, back to this whole matter. The contract that I signed with you might not be considered legally binding because it wasn't my real name. So might have to do a new one. But also, what I thought that this might be useful for was that presentation for your brother. If there is... I don't copy people. I don't. It's very pedestrian. It's an art. But if there was a type of person that he was more inclined to listen to or like, that might be helpful when we go to make the presentation.
If you would like to sign another set of contracts, I can have them drawn up.
I would. I
Perhaps-
appreciate it.
Very well. So, they can probably be ready tomorrow.
Thank you for listening and for understanding.
I hope that we can find some way through this sticky patch.
Me too. I would hate for it to end too soon.
The only remaining point I would make, I suppose, is that it's one thing to force Nedry to submit to a spell that he does not want when we know that we are removing a curse that could be influencing his thinking. It is another thing entirely to make those sorts of decisions for him once that magical influence is gone.
I understand. The only actions I can control are my own.
All right.
All right. Thank you.
Okay. So, what does everyone else have going on?
I was waiting for Sorashana
Okay.
to wake up and be coherent again.
Okay. Were you trying to stir her, or
No, I was just waiting. I was letting her rest because
Okay.
obviously, like what she went through was
Mhm.
traumatic on her body. So
Yeah. I think it probably does take a little while. Um, she does seem to be more or less just asleep. But eventually she does kind of roll over and sort of open her eyes a little bit and see you there. And there's a moment of like her brow furrows just for a second, but then she kind of blinks, rubs her eyes a little bit more, and partially sits up and says, "Hello, hello, Zaleen."
hi, I wasn't watching you sleep. Zinhorn
Okay.
said that's weird, so I just was sitting with you.
Thank you.
Are you okay?
Yeah, yeah, I'm okay. Um, it was a little bit scary. The um, I'm I I don't really like when my body isn't doing what I want it to do, but I know that Kosh only does that when it's really important.
Who? What is Kosh? I don't.
He's I think kind of like a spirit, but he works different than other spirits that I've ever studied. But he's always been around. I can talk to him sorta. He protects me. Sometimes he helps me understand things.
That's useful.
Hmm.
He helped you understand what was happening to Nedry.
Sort of. There's more to it. I know everyone's talking about a curse, but it's not just that. It's I've been thinking about all of the different things that keep saying there's nightmares. And I've been trying to think about that because I don't have dreams the way other people say they do. I don't know. I mean, I just know other people say that they go places in their imagination when they sleep and things happen, but it's not in the real world. It's only in their mind when they sleep, but that doesn't happen to me.
Me either.
Well, yeah, so I think it might be a little bit like that, but I do still need to sleep. Um, and I just know that I think even though nightmare is the word that people use for when they just have a scary dream, I think that I think that some of the things that are saying nightmares related to all of this stuff, I don't think that's what they're talking about. I
No.
I think they're talking about, I don't know, some kind of like like a monster almost.
Maybe like a spirit, like a dark, corrupted spirit, maybe.
Maybe. Spirits are always tied to something in the real world though. I wonder if it could be like what happens to spirits that aren't tied to anything anymore.
Maybe. I don't know a lot about that.
I just know that when when people say they're having nightmares connected to stuff like this, like you said, well, what the other said was that the real estate agent of the house, his father had nightmares, and then he had nightmares. I wonder if there's something out there that connects to us that way. And it's
Maybe.
trying to make that connection easier. I don't
Maybe.
know. I don't understand all of it yet. But I know that those cards, I think they're designed to capture the nightmares so they can't hurt anyone.
Maybe. That we have to learn more about them and everything. And
I didn't like that everyone is mad and upset about the circlet. I know it was scary, and but I want to understand things, and sometimes you can't understand things without trying things that are sometimes dangerous.
that's true. But also, I'm I don't know everyone very well because I'm new. But over the last few days, I've learned a lot about Nedry just watching him. And his quest to understand everything is scary because he doesn't often think about how it will affect everyone else. And I know that right now he is cursed, but I wonder how much he was like that before. Because the curse that he's suffering from is making that trait worse in him. And he won't listen to anybody else. But I think that maybe he might listen to you because he respects you and looks up to you.
She
And
looks confused, like that doesn't make any sense to her.
he values your opinion. And I think that if it came down to it and he was doing something that even you thought was dangerous, he might actually listen if you talk to him.
I don't know. Maybe.
I think that the circlet is very rare and very
She's actually
powerful.
starting to look really uncomfortable.
I figured she
No,
would.
well, I mean, but like in kind of a sad way. And she starts actually, I think, not crying, but like she's her eyes are getting a little red, and she just says, it's not bad to want to know things.
No, it's not. And that, I think that wanting to know things and studying them and learning about them is a really good thing. But sometimes Nedry jumps in without studying. And everyone is very upset because he nearly killed Zinhorn. And if he hadn't just put that circlet on his head without learning more about it beforehand, maybe that wouldn't have happened.
There wasn't any way to learn any more about it.
How do
You
we
don't
know?
know. We studied it. We studied it together, him and me.
I know.
And we knew that there wasn't any way to know any more about it without someone trying it. And now I feel like everyone's going to leave.
I don't want to leave. And I don't want anyone else to leave either because I just got here and I don't know if I ever had friends before. So I don't want to lose friends that I just made. But we have to find a way to compromise and to study things more safely, to learn about them. Otherwise, somebody could get killed. And we would leave in ways that are worse than just walking away.
I don't want anyone to die.
Me either. I know that you and Nedry work very closely together and you learn a lot from each other and you help each other figure things out. So I think that maybe he would listen if you thought it was wise to advise caution.
I'll think about it.
Thank you. Then I'll leave her alone because I know she's uncomfortable.
Yeah. Sequential, what have you been getting up to during that?
I was really so mechanically you need to do a short rest. So just random
I think-
tinkering.
Sure.
Random tinkering.
Yeah, everybody can have had a short rest if that helps anything. All right, but okay, so you're just kind of
Yeah, nothing of significance.
okay,
Puttering around.
sure. All right, so Nedry, I think you are escorted up on the roof. But what's going on with you right now?
He's barely paying attention to anyone else.
Okay.
But kind of goes over to a spot away from everyone else, lays out his books. If he doesn't have a lesson that's already there, if there's nothing happening, then he's just going to start trying to write everything down that he can remember.
Okay.
And try to remember all of that.
Yeah. So I
And
think it
there's a
just
spell.
okay. Well, I was just going to say we can interrogate a little bit some of what we established quickly before, which is that I think you now sort of have a full understanding of what it is that the curse does, and you are still under its influence, but you can recognize it's a little bit like if you discovered that you had like a button on your forehead that can make you angry and someone else keeps pushing the button, right? Like it doesn't make you not angry, but you recognize where it's coming from. That sort of thing. And so that's, I think, your current understanding of how that works. So you were studying, you were going to do a spell?
Yep.
Okay.
So he spends a lot of time with his spell book open and actually protective verses on the other side, kind of going back and forth between the two of them. Scribbling into his spell book pretty feverishly. And then there's a bright flash.
Okay.
On the spell book. As Glyph of Warding takes place.
Okay.
It is set to explosive.
Okay.
And he steps and turns around. Who's on the roof with him?
So I think probably maybe Trina and Brennan.
Okay. Oh, none of the people who are here. That's.
I mean, Brennan is here. I'm right here. What are you talking about? How's it going, Nedry?
I've had an interesting day.
Yeah.
Can you fetch the others?
Uh,
I have something I need to say.
All right. I hope we're not making too many hasty decisions. just right now. But yeah, okay. We can bring everybody up.
He's kind of standing in the same spot. He looks weirdly sort of, I guess you'd say, excited. There's a sort of energy that he's got at the moment. He's kind of moving back and forth from foot to foot. Then just, okay, that's close enough. No closer. If you got any closer, it would kill me. Maybe you too. I don't want that to happen. I really don't. But I've been thinking this over. It's complicated, and I haven't got all of it yet. But I realized a few things that are true. Maybe I wish I weren't true, but I can't change. I can't give you the circlet. I can't let you have it either. You'll have to take it. But I framed it as an experiment. I know I've learned a lot, magically. I know that I've gained some power. Even without this circlet, I've learned a few things. I haven't really had a chance to try all the things yet, so I really don't know what's going to work or not. I've cast a spell on my book. It's a new one for me, something I learned from Protective Verses. If I move from here more than 10 feet, or anyone comes within 10 feet of me, it'll explode. That wouldn't go well for me. But when you're ready, in the morning, I'm going to get rid of that spell. I can't give you the circlet. Maybe it is the curse, but I can't. Maybe I would want to, I don't know. I can't even imagine it right now. I can't give it to you, but you can try to take it. Against all of you, I don't think I'm strong enough. But I have to try. I don't want to hurt any of you, and I will try my best not to. Maybe you'll have to hurt me to do this, I don't know. I hope not. But I don't have any choice. I realized that. I realized that when Sorashana, or whatever that was, let me know. I realized that. I don't have a choice. But that's the funny thing. You do. And while I can't make the decision for myself, I can let you try to make it for yourselves. I couldn't think of any other way. But framing it as an experiment seemed to help. It seemed to let me puzzle this out as a way that I can learn something. And that alone seemed to let me try. I don't know exactly what's going to happen, but we'll learn something.
Sunia speaks up and just says, "There's a priest of Rashama here. Zinhorn, I think it's who you called."
I would have to hurt him. But I wouldn't hurt you, Zinhorn. Not willingly. Maybe don't reach out and touch me. That seemed to go badly. But this person I don't know. And I don't know what I might do to them. Maybe you're right. Maybe I'm not in control, but I have this small measure of control.
Until I cast Dispel Magic.
Do you cast Dispel Magic?
Yep.
I cast Counterspell.
Whoop.
Don't,
I can cast it
please.
again.
And he backs up a few more feet.
If I move much further, this is going to explode.
Oh, well. You're not thinking clearly.
Whoops.
Well, we certainly don't want anybody to explode. We just want to remove the curse so you can rationally think about this.
Right. But I can't let you. That doesn't work anymore.
Yobera, I think, says, Nedry, you said that when the time came, you would stop the spell.
Yes.
I'll be right back.
Okay. We've got someone here prepared to do that.
I need them to do it. I need them to do it because they're my friends. I can't trust anybody else.
Friends trust each other, and I don't trust you. We're not friends.
I'm sorry you feel that way.
He takes another step back.
I think it's fair to wait until the morning until Zenhorn can perform it. I mean,
Would that satisfy you, Nedry?
Yes.
I think that's reasonable.
Didn't somebody say we had to sleep on it?
It
Yeah.
was sequential. Yeah. And I think
I can't
that
sleep in a house with someone I don't trust. And I'm leaving.
We're not.
I will come with you, Carolina, and we'll come back tomorrow.
We'll see.
All right.
Tell her I'm sorry. I couldn't think of any other solution. I've run through so many. But I can't value most of them.
I think, as you're heading out, Yobera is gonna just briefly say, "I'm not going to stop you. But if someone cast a spell on a friend that briefly charmed them, would you treat them this way?"
Until he's uncharmed, I'm not coming back.
Fair enough.
I'll stay somewhere else tonight. Just let me know.
All right. So here's a question, everybody. Do we stop here for tonight? Do we
I
want to say
actually
we're waiting
have
till the
to.
morning? All right. Well.
I have to go. Like something came up and I have to go.
All right. Well, I guess we will find out. What an uncomfortable cliffhanger once again to hang us all on. But that's where we're leaving it for tonight. So, we'll find out next week as we continue our adventure on so many levels,
So many levels.
including intense drama levels.
Dramas.
All right.